Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Flavor and Fiction. For those of you tuning in for the first time, this is a segment called Flavor and Fiction, where I choose a book from my 2022 reading challenge, I review it, and then I make a recipe with an ingredient that's featured in the book. So you get your flavor and your fiction. This week's category is a fairy tale retelling. And I chose, I'll put it up here, Unbury Carol by Josh Malerman. And it's a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. And the ingredient that I chose is whiskey. And here it is. I just bought a little bottle because I'm not a whiskey drinker and I know I'm not going to have more than this, probably not even this. So I didn't want to waste money, so I just went to the store and got this little bottle. This is Johnny Walker, but I just said give me whatever. And this is the first time in Flavor and Fiction history that I think it's the first time that I'm making a cocktail as my recipe. Just because it's fall. And I decided, I saw a recipe for apple cider whiskey punch. And I thought that's a good one to try for Flavor and Fiction. So you can join me in a cocktail later. But first, let's get into this book. Okay, so Carol is a woman with a secret. And there's only a handful of people that have ever known this secret. There was her mother, who has passed away. There was her first love, who ran away after finding out about the secret. He felt like he couldn't handle it. There is her best friend and her husband. And so, you know, her mother is passed away, the mother's passed away, the lover ran away, and her best friend meets a very mysterious and sudden death. And that's not a spoiler because it happens like at the very beginning, so it's not a spoiler. So now all she has left is her husband, who knows the secret. What she doesn't know is his secret, is that he married her for her money. So she starts thinking like someone else needs to know this secret, because what happens if my husband goes away and, you know, something happens? Okay, so here's the secret. She falls into a comatose state, like at the drop of a hat. There's no warning. And when she's in that state, she has no pulse. She's not breathing at all. It appears by all intents and purposes that she is dead. And usually within 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours, she is alive again. She starts to slowly come out of her state. But while she's in the state, she can hear everything going on around her. So she starts thinking, you know, if my husband's not here, somebody else will have to know this secret. So, because people are going to think I'm dead. They're going to declare me dead. So she decides to confide in her maid. So when she goes on a walk with her maid, she's about to tell her the secret, and what do you think happens? Boom, she falls into this coma. And her husband is like, okay, this is my chance. No one else is alive who knows her secret. I can get rid of her. I can declare her dead, and I can bury her and have her fortune. What he doesn't know is that the maid overheard the name James Moxie. That's the name of the lover who ran away. He never knew that James Moxie knew the secret. He knew, you know, about him, that they had dated or whatever, but he didn't know that James knew her secret. So the maid sends a message to James, just letting him know, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't know exactly how you know Carol, but just to let you know, she's died. He gets the message and he's like, I wonder if she's dead or if she just fallen into the coma and no one knows, no one said anything. So he starts off to go rescue her. He sends a message back to the maid, but it's intercepted by the husband, of course. So then the husband hires a hitman to go after James. And James at this point is like a really famous outlaw. So he's a very dangerous man. So the husband is doubly afraid. He's afraid of being discovered and he's afraid of being killed by James Moxie. So now we have James racing to Carol. We have the hitman racing after James. And we have the husband who's trying to hide his tracks and outsmart the sheriff and the coroner. And like he's losing it. So he wants to get her buried quickly. And so I'm not going to spoil the ending because I thought it was a really good ending. It's one of those things where you think you know what's going to happen, but there's still a little twist that gives you a little surprise. So it was enjoyable. It was adventurous. It was a little disturbing at times, but it was also fun. Like it was a fun, adventurous book. I could see this being a movie. I say that about most of the books, but this would be a good one. So 2 thumbs up for me. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a fun reimagining of a fairy tale. So now let's get to the flavor portion. We have some apple cider whiskey punch coming up. So this is a very simple recipe. All you need is what you see here: ginger ale, whiskey, apple cider, lemon juice, orange slices, lemon slices, and apple slices. And you got yourself a whiskey punch. So I got my punch. Here's the finished product. It's huge. Here we go. And what you do is you mix all the wet ingredients. You got your whiskey, of course, your apple cider, ginger ale, and a little lemon juice. And then you let that sit in the fridge for about an hour. Then you add in your fruit right before you drink it. So I got orange slices in here, lemon slices in here, and some cut up apple. So here we go. I'm going to taste it and let you guys know what I think. Whew. Ha. It's delicious. I thought the whiskey would kind of be drowned out by everything else. It's not. It's very earthy. I can really taste the apple cider. The whiskey hit me first, then the apple cider, then the ginger ale. Like maybe it needed to sit longer to all meld together in the fridge. It's not terrible. The more you sip it, the easier it becomes. Oh, I got a hint of the orange. That was nice. The citrus definitely makes a difference. It helps brighten it a little bit. If I stir it around a little bit, it won't be so earthy. Ah. Whew. Well, if you're a whiskey drinker who loves autumn, this is the drink for you. But in all honesty, it is not terrible. And like, I think it's a nice idea for like, if you're having some type of party or like Thanksgiving and you want like a little fall themed libation, make some of this punch, let people add their own fruit, right before they drink it. And I think this could be a big hit with a lot of people. Like I said, I'm not big on whiskey and I don't hate it. It has a flavor. That's all I can. But waste not, want not. So I'm gonna go sip on my liquid lunch and watch a Hallmark movie that's like autumn themed. And yeah, that's it for me, guys. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Flavor and Fiction.